Good morning, first grade. Today is Friday, and today I'm here to read to you. I am going to read, you know what I'm going to say, one of my favorites. This book is titled The Grouchy Ladybug, and the author and illustrator is Eric Carle. And we are going to hear The Grouchy Ladybug for a couple of reasons. One, it of course is spring, and we are seeing lots of ladybugs right now.
Oh.
Two, this book also deals with the concept of time, which is our focus this week in math. So I am going to read The Grouchy Ladybug. And something that you're going to notice, and I'm going to have to really show you, is that each page is going to have a little clock on it to match the time in the story. All right, this is The Grouchy Ladybug. And here's the cover picture, or I'm sorry, the inside cover picture. And the front says, aphids are very small insects. They suck the juice from leaves and then the leaves die. Ladybugs eat aphids. That's good for trees, shrubs, and other plants that have leaves. To the ladybugs, I have dedicated this book. 3 cheers for them. Hip, hip, hooray. All right, and here is a picture of a ladybug. And then these are aphids, and that is actually the ladybug's main diet. And that is why ladybugs are helpful insects. It was night, and some fireflies danced around the moon. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun came up. A friendly ladybug flew in from the left. It saw a leaf with many aphids on it, but decided to have them for breakfast. But just then, a grouchy ladybug flew in from the right. It too saw the aphids and wanted them for breakfast. So here we see the 2 ladybugs and all the aphids, and the time that the book just mentioned was 5 o'clock in the morning. So we can see the hour hand is pointing to the 5 and the minute hand is pointing straight up to the 12. That is 5 o'clock. Good morning, said the friendly ladybug. Go away, shouted the grouchy ladybug. I want those aphids. We can share them, suggested the friendly ladybug. No, they're mine, all mine, screamed the grouchy ladybug. Or do you want to fight me for them? Ooh. All right, there is the nice ladybug saying good morning, and there's the grouchy one saying go away. If you insist, answered the friendly ladybug sweetly. It looked the other bug straight in the eye. The grouchy ladybug stepped back, looked a little less sure of itself. Oh, you're not big enough for me to fight, it said. Then why don't you pick on somebody bigger? I'll do that, screeched the grouchy ladybug. I'll show you. It puffed itself up and flew off. At 6 o'clock, it met a yellow jacket. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug. Want to fight? If you insist, said the yellow jacket, showing its stinger. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. All right, so here's the ladybug trying to get the hornet to fight her. And there's our clock. Now I'm going to show you on this clock too. So at 6 o'clock, our hour hand is pointing straight down to the 6, and we use this track. And then our minute hand is pointing straight up, and we use the outer track. So it is 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, it met a stag beetle. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug. Wanna fight? If you insist, said the stag beetle, opening its jaws. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. So there is the ladybug compared to the stag beetle. And the text told us that it is now 7 o'clock. So what happens is this hand goes all the way around, and at 7 o'clock, our hour hand is pointing to the 7, and our minute hand is pointing straight up, 7 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, it came across a praying mantis. "Hey, you," said the grouchy ladybug, "want to fight?" "If you insist," said the praying mantis, reaching out with its front legs. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. I love these pages because if you notice, the animals that the grouchy ladybug wants to fight keep getting bigger, but the ladybug stays the same size. And you can see that Eric Carle uses these special pages and makes each page bigger. Now, something else I want to point out, because we're also talking about things in the sky this week, is when we first started out, it was 5 o'clock in the morning and the sun had just started to come up. And as you notice, each hour that it gets later, the sun is doing what? Right, it's getting higher in the sky. And then it peaks, that means it's at its highest point, and then we notice that it starts to go down. So this was the sun rising, the peak, and then it sets. So that's something else that you can look for during the day. All right, so the grouchy ladybug was fighting that, or wanting to fight the praying mantis at 8 o'clock. So we're gonna go one time around, and it is now 8 o'clock. That means our minute hand's on the 8, and our hour hand's on the 8, and our tall minute hand is straight up, 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, it almost flew into a sparrow. "Hey, you," said the grouchy ladybug, "want to fight?" "If you insist," said the sparrow, opening its sharp beak. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. Here's the ladybug and the sparrow. And it is now 9 o'clock in the morning. And at 9 o'clock in the morning at school, we would typically just be finishing up our breakfast, and we would be getting ready to start reading class or your morning meeting in just a few minutes. So our hour hand is pointing to the 9, and the minute hand is straight up, 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, it saw a lobster. "Hey, you," said the grouchy ladybug, "wanna fight?" "If you insist," said the lobster, stretching its claws. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. And this was 10 o'clock. So we're gonna move our minute hand one rotation around, and there we have our hour hand pointing to the 10 and our minute hand pointing straight up, 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're right in the middle of reading class, usually when we're at school. At 11 o'clock, it bumped into a skunk. "Hey, you," said the grouchy ladybug, "wanna fight?" "If you insist," said the skunk, starting to lift its tail. What does a skunk do when it lifts its tail? It sprays that stinky spray. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. Okay, now you can see, look how small the grouchy ladybug is now compared to the skunk. All right, and this is 11 o'clock. So when one more hour passes, it's 11 o'clock. And now do you notice what was happening to that hour hand? Let me go back. We started out at 5 o'clock. Let me back up. And watch this hour hand. Every time the minute hand goes around, the hour hand moves. So the ladybug has traveled all the way to 11 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock at school, we are typically just getting ready to wrap up reading and go to lunch. At 12 noon, it spotted a boa constrictor. "Hey, you," said the grouchy ladybug, "wanna fight?" "If you insist," said the snake, right after lunch. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. All right, now look what that snake is ready to have for lunch. Uh-oh. Yes, you know what that is. And look, there's the little ladybug. And there's that unsuspecting squirrel who's about to get eaten. Okay, you gotta go over there right now. At 1 o'clock, it happened upon a hyena. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug, wanna fight? If you insist, said the hyena, laughing eerily and showing its teeth. Oh, you're not big enough anyway, said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. All right, now 2 hours have passed. So we went from 11 o'clock to 12 noon. And if you notice, 12 noon, the minute hand covers up the hour hand because they are both pointing straight up. That's 12 o'clock. And then 1 hour passed. And this is when the ladybug met the hyena at 1 o'clock. So when we look at 12 noon, that is actually when we're starting our recess time. And at 1 o'clock, we are into math class. At 2 o'clock, it met a gorilla. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug, wanna fight? If you insist, said the gorilla, beating its chest. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug, and flew off. All right, it's getting harder and harder to spot that ladybug, isn't it? Because it's now looking for bigger animals to try to fight. All right, so an hour has passed and it is now 2 o'clock. So the hour hand's on the 2 and the minute hand is straight up. Wow, if the ladybug still thinks that this huge gorilla is not big enough, I wonder what kind of animal it wants to fight. At 3 o'clock, it ran into a rhinoceros. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug, wanna fight? If you insist, said the rhinoceros, lowering its horn. Oh, you're not big enough anyway, said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. All right, before I show you, see if you can find the ladybug. Yeah, it's right here. Look how teeny tiny that ladybug is compared to the rhino. And it is now 3 o'clock. When we're at a normal school day, 3 o'clock is goodbye time. That's when they start announcing the buses. Oh, and do you notice 3 o'clock, the sun's starting to go down a little bit. It's not at its highest point anymore. At 4 o'clock, it encountered an elephant. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug, wanna fight? If you insist, said the elephant, raising its trunk and showing its big tusks. Oh, you're not big enough, said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. All right, same thing, find the ladybug before I show you. Yeah, right here. If that elephant wanted, it could just whack that ladybug, couldn't it? And this is 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock, even the teachers have left by 4 o'clock, and you guys are all probably home. Mrs. Little would probably be driving home or getting ready to leave at that time, and we're almost getting close to dinner time now. At 5 o'clock, it met a whale. Hey, you, said the grouchy ladybug, want to fight? But the whale did not answer at all. You're not big enough anyway, said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. Now this next part is very funny. So it is now 5 o'clock. That is almost what we would consider evening, and that would definitely be probably the time you're gonna be having dinner or relaxing, finishing up some homework. All right, now this is funny because the ladybug starts out talking to this whale, and look how teeny tiny she is compared to the blue whale, which we know are huge. At 5:15, the grouchy ladybug said to one of the whale's flippers, hey, you, wanna fight? But it still got no answer, so it flew on. So what's funny here is the ladybug, it took her 15 minutes just to fly from the whale's mouth to the whale's fin. So it is 5:15 and the ladybug still is near the whale asking it to fight. At 5:30, the grouchy ladybug said to the whale's fin, "Hey, you, wanna fight?" But it got no answer, so it flew on. So here's the ladybug asking the whale's fin to fight. And that took her 15 more minutes to get there. So it is now 5:30. So if we look, our hour hand is between the 5 and 6, and our minute hand is pointing straight down at the 30. So it is 5:30. At 5:45, the grouchy ladybug said to the whale's tail, "Hey, you, wanna fight?" So the ladybug now traveled 15 more minutes and only made it to the whale's tail. So we're going to move up. It is now 5:45 or 5:45. That's another way that we can say it. And the ladybug has just encountered the whale's tail. Now, look at this book. I love this part. It flaps, and this is what happens. And the whale's tail gave the grouchy ladybug such a slap. Here's the ladybug who got a slap. That it flew across the sea and across the land. At 6 o'clock, the grouchy ladybug arrived right back where it had started. So the whale's tail slaps the ladybug, flies through the air for 15 minutes, and is now 6 o'clock. And we already had a 6 o'clock, right, in the morning, but now it's 6 o'clock in the evening. So the hours all repeat during the day. So 6 o'clock in the evening, we have our hour hand pointing straight down at the 6, and our minute hand pointing straight up to the 00. "Ah, here you are again," said the friendly ladybug. "You must be hungry. There are still some aphids left. You can have them for dinner." "Oh, thank you," said the wet, tired, and hungry ladybug. "Thank you. You're welcome." Soon all the aphids were gone. "Thank you," said the leaf. "You are welcome," answered both ladybugs, and they went to sleep. The fireflies, who had been sleeping all day, came out to dance around the moon. All right, so that grouchy ladybug had quite a day, which started at 5 in the morning and lasted all the way through 6 o'clock at night. So let's count how many hours that was. So what I want you to do is watch the hour hand, and every time it gets to a new hour, I want you to count by ones, and we're gonna start from 5 and go all the way to 6. Now we're gonna have to pass 6 one time and then another time. So we're gonna count how many hours was the ladybug out and about. We ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 gets us back, 12 hours gets us back to 5 o'clock. 13. That ladybug was out trying to fight bigger animals for 13 hours, all because she was grumpy and didn't want to share those aphids with the friendly ladybug. And then in the end, she ended up wet, tired, and hungry and had to share anyway. So what should she have done from the beginning? She should have just shared. Yeah. So I would say that she was a grouchy ladybug. She was also a silly ladybug because she didn't make the best choices. All right. It is Friday. I hope you are not grouchy ladybugs today. It's the weekend. I hope you are friendly ladybugs today. Mwah! We miss you. Have a good weekend.